Let's take a look and see what they have changed in Copperbell Mines. There's 4 bullet points in the patch notes. The content of the battle with Kotos has been adjusted. Content of the battle with Ichorous Ire has been adjusted. The content of the battle with Gygus the Great has been adjusted, as have certain dungeon mechanics. Let's just see. So when it came to mechanics being changed, I theorized that it would be something to do with the fire sand. Yeah, have they lowered the number of mobs? In fact, have they lowered the number of mobs and changed the lighting here slightly? Is it just me, or is it darker to what it was? Don't know. Yeah, so he barges out earlier. So it's less of a surprise, but quite a nice bashing out animation. Because before, the wall breaks and he's there. So that's a little bit of a change. Maybe there'll be more of that. That'd be interesting. It'd also be interesting, actually, if they've done away with the fire sand entirely. They've definitely changed the number of enemies here. But yeah, it definitely feels to me as if they've darkened this place. But again, it'll be interesting to compare to other footage of this area, which hopefully, if I've done a half decent job, you'll see edited onto the screen somehow. Again, I didn't have a plan for how I was going to do this because I didn't know what they were going to have changed. Yeah, so normally there'd be some crates here and some fire sand, but that is clearly no more. Ah, no, fire sand is there and here. So they've moved it away from that little place behind the boxes. Because in theory, you could have missed that. And then you'd have to go backwards. Or you'd think the game was bugs. So why isn't it working? It needs to. But this is the kind of thematic stuff. Also, has there always been a gate there that you could see through? Again, that's something to check on the old footage. Aha! Okay, so they've completely changed Kotos' arena. So no more Spriggan spawns. So they've just given him a standard tank buster to start off with. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Guys. Okay, that makes him much more interesting. Because he was a boring fight originally. That's a good change. Impressed with that. That makes this much more interesting as dungeon number 2. Yeah, so as soon as you know where he's going second, you know that you can leap across to here. Yeah, they've just completely redesigned this guy. Good. What's catapult? A ranged attack? Yeah. Right, that's a really good change. I'm pleased with this. Can't stun him out of that, though. But it's a nice telegraphed tank buster to get you used to that mechanic early on in the game, I guess. So it's going to be this side. And Colossal Slam he targets to the segment that he didn't attack previously. Still drops a tiny key. Okay. I'm intrigued then as to how they are going to change the Ichorous Ire fights. Right, what have they changed down here? So we've got the blasting device, we've got the powder chamber. They have changed the lighting. They've definitely changed the lighting. This area was much more orange previously. So does it mention lighting changes? It does not. Maybe this is part of their... And it's... Maybe this is a precursor to their new lighting engine. It definitely looks more atmospheric. It's got a more haunted feel to it. Watch me be completely wrong now about this, but I'm pretty certain that this was much more of an orange location previously. I don't think they have actually redesigned the rooms though, have they? It's just lit differently. But yeah, it's interesting because now this dungeon has more flavour than Totorak. Okay, so through here there's more fire sand. Yeah, this is the same as it was previously. Now. Oh. They've removed the blasting mechanic for Ichorous Ire. Okay. So, syrup. Guys, you're going to get yourselves caught outside the... oh, he's just teleported in fluid spread. Ah, okay. He's still got the divide mechanic at least. Oh. Oh. Okay. That's... Yes. Happy with that. That's cool. And of course you can program the NPCs to avoid AoEs like that. Getting them to do the mechanics as they were, probably more challenging. Yeah, so this is getting people used to spread AoEs. Because you've got to look at these dungeons as an introduction to dungeoneering in FF14. So getting out of the way of AoEs, long cast time on that, so they shouldn't really be getting hit by it. Yeah, that's long enough for anybody to get out of them, essentially. Yeah, so while I miss the previous version of that fight, I do actually think it's a better fight now. I loved the gimmick of the original. But I can see why that is a much better fight. So, yeah, the content of the battle with Ichorous Ire has been adjusted for the better. Definitely a better fight now, especially a better fight for introduction, and still a fight with interesting mechanics. And arguably a fight with mechanics that will train you as an FF14 Dungeoneer. Much better than the Ichorous Ire fight did, which was a mechanic that was literally only in that fight. And I don't think the divide thing and blowing it up showed up anywhere else. Yeah, he seems to make a much more dramatic entrance than before. I might be Mandela affecting that. It could just be exactly the same as previous. But the first one that we saw bursting out of the wall definitely burst out more. I'm intrigued as to what changes they'll have made to the final boss, because the final boss has been adjusted as well. Will they remove the ads mechanic? Or will they do more with it? Oh, they've removed the ads from there. That's interesting. Oh. Okay, they've changed this arena. So they've done away with the ads mechanic, it seems. So they're going to change this fight. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they've made it arguably more tank and spanky. Oh. Oh, okay. So getting, again, us used to moving out of big-ass AoEs in a nice, straightforward manner. Yeah, he's not hitting very hard, but to be fair, we're level synced down. He's got Colossal Slam, which now covers an entire quadrant of the arena. It was just a conal AoE before, wasn't it? And this is going to... Whoop. Oh, it's got a delay on that. So you've got to watch out. Interesting. So he doesn't return to the center of the arena for that. He does it wherever he is. Yeah, I'm liking these changes. I think this is a good... Those all going straight into my... Yeah, they're going straight into my armory chest. Nice. Yeah. I think that is... I think that is a well redesigned dungeon. So the Battle of Kotos has definitely been made more interesting. None of the waiting for the Flamberges and the Spriggans, which was wave after wave after wave. 3 waves, in fact, if I remember correctly. The Ichorous Ire fight is definitely faster and more interesting, as much as I loved the gimmick version of the old one. Geiger's has dropped its ad mechanic because everybody ignored it. You know, we've got the scaling has changed to the extent that we didn't need to deal with the ads, so it was a waste of a gimmick, which meant that all he had was a small front conal cleave. So the new version of Geiger's is great. That was unintentional. And certain dungeon mechanics have been adjusted. So they've slightly changed the location of one fire sand. And I think they've changed the lighting of a couple of areas which don't count as dungeon mechanics, in my opinion. Well, they're not. But overall, I think that's a solid set of changes for Copperbell Mines and will be much better for new players in terms of training them for getting out of AoEs, essentially, in that dungeon. There's a lot of moving, everybody cluster in, everybody get out, and watch out for the timings of those. I think as a training tool, actually, Copperbell Mines 2.0, shall we call it, is pretty good for that. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think the changes are good? Do you think of the two dungeons that I've looked at so far, Toto Rack and Copperbell Mines, I'm of the opinion that the Copperbell Mines redo is much better and much more interesting. It's kept the flavour of the dungeon, and it's changed up the atmosphere slightly, I think. Whereas Toto Rack seems to have abolished it, essentially. Let me know down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed the video, do please leave it a like. Catch you all in the next one. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.